Hello, everybody. I am your host, Valerie B, and this is TNT News Live, where we are here every single Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, I would like for you to put up a thumbs up. If this is your second time, I would like to say welcome. And if this is your third time, I would like to say thank you for continuing to join us every single Tuesday, where we are here sharing the testimonies of Jesus Christ, sharing our stories for God's glory. Now, I would like to welcome you all and encourage you all that we are continuing to gather here every Tuesday. And this Tuesday, I am actually traveling. So it didn't stop me from joining TNT News Live. So I would like to say welcome. Um, Today, the topic is all about shifting with the moment and encourage you all to let you know that you have what it takes to shift in the moment. There are so many times where I think about the things that I do in my life and I realize that I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing as a business owner. I have no idea what I'm doing as a person. And even when it comes to the show, I'm like, Lord, what do you want me to do? There's been so many times and so many cases as I reflect, even on the conversation that I had earlier today, that, you know, I thought that I knew what I was doing with everything that I've accomplished in my life, but I realized how much more I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't have it all together. And, but I appreciate those moments. I appreciate the moments not having it all together because I see that in those moments when I don't, the Lord does. So it's all about really trusting Him. I was reflecting on a moment that I had where a friend of mine, she had an event, and I was looking forward to. She wanted me to speak at this event, but she didn't have all the details. And she was like, all I know is, the Lord is telling me to do this event, and I'm just going to be obedient and just go forth and do it. And to me, in that moment, I got a little scared because I'm like, what do I tell people? How do I explain? How do I invite somebody to something without having all the details to what's getting ready to happen? It doesn't always, it doesn't make sense to me. But I almost opted out because I was like, I don't have all the details, so I'm gonna just head out because that's comfortable for me. Knowing every single detail, being in control of my life has been comfortable, but it hasn't gotten me further ahead. If anything, it made me stagnant. It made me move a lot slower in life. And I'm realizing how creative God is and how spontaneous He is. And when He tells you to do something, He has all the details already in place. So it's not about the opinions of men. It's not about us and our emotions, how we feel, but it's really about Him being able to trust us to do, He's testing us to see if we're going to do what He's called us to do. We pray about these things. We ask Him, Lord, use me in a mighty way. And then when it comes time for us to be used, sometimes we just sit back and be like, is this you? Is it you? Is it you? And it's like with the whole faith process, it's never going to be comfortable because we're just obeying the voice of the Father. It's not going to make sense all the time. We're not going to have all the details all the time. He may tell us to do one thing, we do that one thing, then we'll get another detail. And then once we do that next thing, then things will begin to unravel and unfold, and then we'll have the whole plan, and we like, wow, all we did was stepped out on faith, just being obedient to the one instruction that He told us to do. So, make a long story short, my friend, she followed the one instruction, and because she followed the one instruction, I was like, oh man, you don't have all the details. Yeah, you want me to be a part of this? I don't know. So I ended up almost opting out until I ended up got this. It was this Instagram post that just came out of nowhere, and it wasn't out of nowhere. It was it was a reminder for me because the topic of that post was it's not about you. And that's actually what her tagline was. It's not even about you. And so, I was like, wow, I got out of myself and was like, you know what, I'm gonna call her back, and if she willing to accept me back, I'm gonna go ahead and speak at this engagement, because I realized that was a confirmation for me. It's not about me. When the Lord tells me to do something, it's bigger than me. Yeah, I may not have all the details in the moment, but in the end, I will, because it's somebody that needs to hear, it's somebody that needs to see, it's somebody that needs to know that when they step out on faith, their faith is going to be um, um, tried and true. Is gonna they're gonna be able to see that God kept His promise. Okay, even with you stepping out on faith. So, make a long story short, once she did what she was supposed to do, I went ahead and followed suit. It was an absolutely amazing event. So many lives were changed through the power of her yes, just obeying God without even having all of the details. And so there were moments that came for me when I was like woke up in the middle of the night to obey some instructions from the Lord. Particularly there was an event, even with me going to my salon. He gave me small details like it'll be in Shelby Township or Clinton Township. I went to both of those places. Went to Shelby Township. They didn't have any more spaces for the Solar Salon Suites. Went to Clinton Township, and they did. And I knew that that was where I was supposed to be. So that's where I stayed. And so, moving forward, I'm back at this, trusting the voice of the Lord again, trying to see what He wants me to do. And then, my event came up with your special day. So he gave me instructions. He gave me small instructions. First, it was do it in March. So I did it in March. Then I jumped. Then I had the Lord woke me up in the middle of the night with more instructions. March 11th is your special day. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going forward doing the event. I'm like, Lord, what do you want me to do? Should this be a dinner? Should this be, I'm asking all the details. And he just gave me those simple instructions. So I just went ahead and created an event for a dinner, and the ladies were absolutely blessed. And from that moment, I there has been times where I have made mistakes thinking that I heard the voice of the Lord, and there has been times where I have heard Him but was unsure. But I'm realizing the difference in today is that I know His voice more because I am taking the time to get to know Him. If you're in a relationship with anybody, in order for you to really understand their likes, their dislikes, how they speak, you can hear them in a room full of 1,000 people. You can hear their voice is very distinctive because you know them. You have a relationship with them. And I think the difference with today is that I know the Father's voice. Before, like I said, it was trial and error. I was, trying to figure it out. Is this you? Should I be doing this? Even with, doing the show, it's like, should I be doing this? And I got a million, 100,000, 11 confirmations with everything that I'm doing. But now I'm learning how to just move on. The one thing that I hear, I may not always get it right, but that's a part of the training process. That's a part of me learning the Father's voice. I hope to get it right majority of the time, but I also know that I am learning as well. So, if I'm believing that I'm hearing the Father speaking to me, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go forth. And then if I got it wrong, He also shows me that that wasn't right, or maybe I did something that wasn't right. He shows me in love and just, gives me the grace to make the mistakes. But I'm seeing that this whole faith walk is not always going to be comfortable. There's going to be some times where you're going to have to make some sacrifices. Waking up in the middle of the night to have to pray, you might have to fast. This stuff does not always feel comfortable. It is not always easy. However, the Lord is a promise keeper. And if he tells us to do something, he's only telling us for our good. Although it may not feel good in the moment, it may not make perfect sense in the moment, but later on you'll realize, man, I'm so glad that I decided to do what God told me to do, because here I am today. So here I am today. With everything that I'm doing, I'm only here because of the grace of God. I'm only here doing podcasts. I'm only here being able to just talk about my fails, my wins. We see the wins, but it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's been many times where I did not get it right. I thought that I was supposed to. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I remember this one time, and I will say, maybe not on the scale that I did it on, but I probably was still supposed to do this event. But I'm gonna give you a prime example. So I remember one time I was doing this event, and uh, I had rented out this MRCC banquet hall. And if y'all familiar with the MRCC banquet hall, that place is humongous. It was thousands of dollars to rent. And I was trying to do it by myself because, again, I wasn't asking for help. I was trying to do everything by myself. Had some serious rejection issues, and trying to host a conference. House way. So, make a long story short, I hosted this event, and I hosted one before, and the same amount of people came before to the first one that I had, maybe a few more. But I said all that to say, I felt like I was supposed to host this conference, but I was trying to do it in my own strength. I was trying to do it because I felt like, okay, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But as I started, I got the confirmation, I stopped praying. I stopped fasting. I just started doing it in my own strength, like, okay, I got the money, I got the people, I got the resources when it comes to the things on the outside, but I didn't have any internal strength. I didn't have any internal wisdom or knowledge. I started moving. I got one detail, then boom, started moving without praying, started moving without fasting, started moving without, getting in the word to see what the Lord is saying about it. I just started moving on my own, and when I say moving on my own, meaning I was just going every single day, focused solely on creating this event, getting these people here, and I thought that I was doing it in the name of the Lord, and I realized I was absolutely not, Um, and from that moment, I had this dream that, I was crying to the Lord, and I was like, I tried to create this event and do this book, and I was trying to do all these things, and he was like, I know, and I was crying out, and he was hugging me, and he was like, I know, I was just waiting on you. Like, I know, I seen you doing all of that by yourself. I seen you, working extremely hard to try to, make all these ends meet on your own. I know. I seen you when you were not getting enough sleep, working your fingers to the bone, stressed out because you were trying to do all of these things in your own strength. I know. I seen you. And he like, I was just waiting on you. So he was just waiting on me to bring it to him. And when I talked about shifting with the moment, really trusting the Lord to help you in your decision making. Like, we think we know what we doing on our own because we grown, what I'm saying? We got degrees, we got some experience, we own businesses. We think we know what we doing, but we really don't. Like, we really need the Father, what I'm saying, to help us. And I would say I just got to the point where I'm really understanding that, like, total dependence. Really, I gotta ask him for everything. Yeah, I make some decisions on food and stuff like that, but I'm talking about every day before I get up and make any decision. If it comes to me eating a sandwich, I'm asking the Lord, what do he want? Where did he want me to go? What does he want me to say? Because that whole dependence on him is seeking him first. Seeking him first in the first thing in the morning, so that way the rest of my day can go according as planned, according to his will. So the Holy Spirit can be my teacher and my guide, and that I can get the instruction and the knowledge and the wisdom that I need to move forward. Because outside of that, you know, And not just praying in the morning. There'll be times where I might have to pray and, pray throughout the day. But I'm saying all that to say, I cannot start my life without him. Shifting in the moment will totally change the trajectory of our lives when we trust totally on him, because we really don't know what we're doing. I ain't gonna speak for everybody. I'm speaking for myself. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing without the Father. I don't know. But I want to encourage you guys with a few things. With the trusting in the moment. Like, how do we trust in the moment? For many of you, you may not know God, and you can shift in the moment and come to give your heart to him, and, shift your focus, and, give your life to him so that he can direct your path, so that he can order your steps, so that he can, give you the plans that he has for you. A lot of us are stressed out and worried and fearful because we're trying to depend on, what we can do. I know I'm just getting to the point where I'm really understanding myself. I'm telling y'all, I can only tell y'all what I know. I know what it means to try to do everything in my own strength. I know what it means to, feel like, okay, I got this money, I can work, I'm making money every day. I know what it feels like to be fearful of rejection and of having abandonment issues and being depressed and, feeling alone and feeling like you're unheard or not seen, overlooked, not feeling confident. I know what all of that means because I have been all of these people in all of this time in all of these places. But I'm here to assure you that there is a rest for you. There is rest for you, because some of us just need rest for our souls. Some of our souls are, really weary. But there remains a rest for the people of God. Like, everything that we talk about when it comes to the things of God, for the children of God, there's rest. There's peace for you. There's hope for you. There's joy for you. And if there's anybody on here that is struggling with that, where they don't have that, I would say nothing in life that we have when it comes to material gain and material possession outweighs having a peace of mind, outweighs having rest. I'm telling you, to have peace that surpasses all understanding, when you are in the most difficult situations, having a loss of a loved one, loss of a job, but then you still have a peace of mind knowing that God is going to deliver you from it all. He's going to protect you. He's going to give you comfort in those moments. I want to encourage you all that there's rest for you and you can shift in the moment. You may be feeling afraid or something right now. You may be feeling shameful about some things. You may be feeling, that you're all alone, or you may be feeling like, you got it all together. You don't need help. But I want to encourage you to let you know that everybody needs rest. Everybody needs peace. We talk about self-care, and that's a part of the self-care. Knowing that you don't have to do things alone. Like, the Lord will send comfort, he'll send peace. He'll send, love in your heart. I mean, I'm telling you, there's so much. There's fullness of joy in the presence of the Lord. There's fullness of joy. But I want to give you a couple of scriptures, just encourage your heart, to encourage your hearts. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. And then Psalms 1:18-8 says, it's better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in man. Like, it is better to trust in the Lord and to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in man, because men, people, we are fickle. We are, we have different emotions. But the Lord, once he gives us a promise, he's a promise keeper. He's going to keep his word. He stands on his word. And the whole, we know that all things work together for the good of them that love God and are called according to his purpose. Like, truly, nothing is in vain. Nothing is wasted. Nothing that we experience in our life is wasted because we can use it for something. So had I not went through the experiences that I went through of feeling like I got it. I don't need God. I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? I don't need God. I'm gonna just go ahead and just figure this out on my own. Had I not went through those moments, I wouldn't be able to share these experiences with you all to let you know the importance of depending on God. Um, and it's just authentically being able to say I messed up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, every day there's something that I'm learning that's new. I just don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I have a father who does, who protects me, who leads me, who guides me, and um, I'm sure, I'm confident in that. So um, that's all I had to say today. I just wanted to encourage you all, for anybody that is on here who is having a hard time trusting in the Lord because, you don't know, you never did it before. You know what I'm saying? Some of you may be like, how can you trust in a God that we can't see? You know, well, to that, I would say, you know, why stress? You can't see stress, but you know what I'm saying? Why worry? We can't see that either. You know what I'm saying? Why not choose the opposite? Why not shift in the moment to say, you know what, Lord, I'm gonna give you a try? Because He wants us. Like He first loved us. So now, what I'm saying, we have learned to love Him. Um, God, He died for us. He died for our sins. And now, what I'm saying, we can come to Him, and love Him because He first loved us. So thank God that we serve a Father that is like that. And that's for everybody. We can shift in the moment. I don't care what we're doing in our life right now in this moment. We can shift our focus and just be like, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. But I know you know everything. I know that you got the answers to every single issue that I face. You are a problem solver. And I'm just giving it all to you. I want you to help me with my life. I want to give my heart to you, so that I could turn away from these feelings of heaviness and always feeling like a failure or always feeling like I ain't got it together. I'm here to tell you, listen, we're going to always feel like we don't have it all together because we need a savior. But I will tell you, the difference is, although we don't feel like we got it up as all together when we give our hearts to Christ, we understand that we win in the end. And we win right now. Like God gives us victory over every circumstance. But I will tell you, there will be days where there will be some sacrifices that we may have to make. You know what I'm saying? We may have to love some people that's hard to love. You know what I'm saying? We may have to forgive some people that we know that hurt us to our core. We may have to fast. We may have to get up in the middle of the night and pray. We may have to, what I'm saying, do some things, suffer persecution because we follow Christ. We may have to be ridiculed and, what I'm saying, people laugh at us or, they scorn us because of who we serve. But we suffer persecution for righteousness' sake. But if we suffer with Christ, we will also reign with Him. So that's the blessing about it. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what it is that we face, the Father, Jesus Christ, has already went through it. He paid the ultimate price for our lives and made the ultimate sacrifice for us. So now, because of that, we can have confidence in this very thing. That He that has begun a good work in us is able to perform. So I just thank God for, this moment of being able to just totally depend on Him. I don't have it all together. I don't know what I'm doing with TNT News. I just know that I have a testimony every single day. I know my testimony ain't going to end because He's in my life. I know it's a testimony today that I woke up being able to have the mind of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have woke up with a whole nother mindset. But, I'm learning. I'm understanding that it's a process and it takes a daily walk. It takes, it's a process to be in relationship with anybody. But one thing I want to share, this is kind of, it may be left field, but it may help. One thing I learned is that, at one point in my life, all my relationships were shallow. And I realized that my relationships were shallow is because my relationship was shallow with the Lord. I wasn't committed to having a relationship with Him. Relationship takes work. I don't care what kind of relationship it is. Relationship with the Father in heaven, relationship with your parents, relationship with your cousins, your coworkers. Every relationship takes work. You can't just be like, okay, this is my cousin, and we blood. It takes time to cultivate that relationship. So with that being said, as my relationship with the Father started to get deeper, so did my other interpersonal relationships. And I want to encourage you all, to tell you that you can shift in the moment. You can shift in the moment when it comes to, our health, making sure that we consume things that are, healthy for our bodies, making sure that we're exercising, dieting, the way that we're thinking, consuming things that are gonna, be brain food. What we're watching, what we're consuming, our conversations that we're having. We can shift in the moment when it comes to our finance. We can shift in the moment with time management. We can shift in the moment. It's just up to us to choose. So, that's all I have to say today. If you are one that has a testimony that you would like to share, please free to, continue to join me every single Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, and guest on the show, you can go to tntwithvalerie@gmail.com. We are here every single Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook Live, and in the future more. So, again, I thank you so much for continuing to join me. And I hope to see you all next Tuesday as we continue to trade our stories for God's glory. I hope you all have an amazing day and talk to you later. Bye.